Hello everyone, and welcome back to Twin Peaks, the map that we've created ourselves in Transport Fever 2. Last episode we began decking out this island with the cargo train stations that we're going to be putting in. So let's just whack on the icons for a second. We've got a cargo station over here, cargo station over here, cargo station over here, and also a cargo station down by where the new harbour import area will be. Now we need to start thinking about where else we will have cargo train stations on this side of the island. It's going to be a very tricky one because this side of the island is a lot more dense. It's got a lot more things in a lot smaller of an area to fit everything in. So it's going to be tricky to actually get everything in on this side. That being said, I'm excited. It's going to be an interesting challenge, and it's going to be quite a good one to try and get everything in that we want. So right off the bat, we need to start thinking about where we're going to have the train stations in this area. It's a little bit tricky because, in honesty, this side of the island, the cities are so close that wherever we put trains, it's gonna become quite sort of sought after area. So that's going to be an interesting one. I want to try and get them as close to these different factories as possible. That way we don't have to do quite as much to get the products to where they need to go to be transformed into other resources for the game. So, for example, oil to plastic here, that sort of thing. So trying to think about where the cargo stations will go. I'm thinking we go underneath here and then come out around here. So this is quite a good spot because it allows us to have, number one, the harbour on this side, and number two, it's around some really crucial factories and what have you. So we can quickly and easily get, say, crude oil from here down to the train station to get it through to the rest of the island. So without further ado, I think the most important part of this may well be to start to take a hard look at this area and try and think about where we're going to be putting the train stations. So we've got a food factory here, and then we've got two machine factories over here. We've got a few. That's a lot of cock-a-doodle-doos. We've got a few supplementary resources around here for the various factories. We've even got a oil well here, which I didn't even realise. I completely forgot it's there. We've got again the food factory. We've got the tools factory down here and plastic. So something around this area would probably be really beneficial. It may even be just after coming to a train station here that would be worthwhile putting in. I think we're going to have to rework what's going on here, especially with this road, which is, again, annoying because we kind of just put this in. But yeah, what we can do is probably push this tunnel further up this way and then have it come out over this side rather than coming around what we have as like an exchange station. We can move this further this way and build this part out, We could even reclaim a bit more land for Delhi. That would allow it to grow into this side of things. What I really think would be beneficial is to have a cargo station sort of this direction. So it would be something like this. That would mean that we'd have to rework the highway through, probably curving it around Changsha and having roads come down to, say, Delhi and then also to Kawasaki on this side. But having this road down here is quite beneficial because we've got, you know, some big sort of areas down here that can utilize this roadway. That being said, there isn't that much traffic at the moment. If we double check how much is actually getting used, so about 100 things are going that way. Public transport wise, it is getting use, but nowhere near as much use as say up here, which is pretty busy with quite a few people coming from different directions. Quite a lot of people coming down this way to get into Delhi. It's an interesting thing to know. We've also got this route through here. Yeah, quite a few different things coming down this way. Oh, that's a very good point. I've hit play, but we've got all these stations out of commission, so we want to keep it on pause. We don't want it to be playing through and things carrying on as if nothing's happening, because we do have a lot going on right now. Do we have anything going to this? We do have a few things coming backwards and forwards here. We're probably going to have to rework this. So yeah, that's something to bear in mind. I mean, I don't know what to do here because this is a very small sort of section of land. We could probably push this out a little bit further and then have the harbour down here maybe, if we really wanted to. So let's see what happens. Maybe we'll be able to do something without having to do that. But I know that these are going to have to go into a tunnel, I think, to get to over this side, which is basically the route that I'm planning for it, is to come down this way and then swing up and back round to go towards the harbour. So yeah, without further ado, I'm a little bit anxious about sort of deleting stuff out, but it's gonna happen for the progress to come along. So I'm just gonna start peeling things back a little bit. Some of these connections have been here for a very long time. Oh, I can't delete that. Maybe I have to delete these first. No, I cannot delete it. Maybe it's because there's a bus on there, who knows. So I'm just gonna take this further back. I think the main issue that we've had lately is that we've had two routes through here, which has meant that a lot of traffic is sort of interchanging between the two roads. I'm going to not delete that because I don't really want to remove this if I can avoid it. So we're literally just going to peel this back slowly and steadily. So, I mean, we could probably have something here you know, continuing through, maybe even with this road coming through to here, maybe we no longer need this connecting into this main road. Or if we did, we could even do something along the lines of connecting it in like this, more on the bend, and then that turn into the main route through to Delhi down here. I don't know whether we want it to be dual carriageway down here. In fact, I'm just gonna take it back even further. Just because I have a funny feeling that if we leave it in and we try and create stuff around it, it will compromise what we eventually end up with. So I'm going to try and remove that. I think we're going to have to take out this section because we're probably going to need a train line coming through here. Oh, we were very lucky there that the the bus didn't end up on that side of things. So I'm thinking somewhere here is probably where we'll put the station, because again, this connects up to Delhi South, so that's quite a good connection for bringing everything up to here. So if we just quickly check, can we put a road through here? Yes, we can. Awesome. So this would probably become the way through for Kawasaki to Delhi and onwards. Maybe. I'm not entirely sure how it's gonna go all in, but we'll have to wait and see. So we want this to come out sort of straight from that angle. Something like this, and then that to connect in there. So there we have a direct connection to the tools factory, which is exactly what we want. And then we've also got the connection through to the distribution hub for Kawasaki and Delhi. So that's fantastic. When these are up and running, that's going to be pretty on point, keeping things moving. So let's just double check with this. Sometimes it allows us to build. No, it's not allowing us to build the things on the other side. That's fine. So I feel like we're going to have to peel back the the train line here for the public transport. So if we slowly do that. We might even be able to follow the route of the road a little bit better here, which could save us a lot of aggro down the road. So let's just wait and see what we can do with the various points here. I'm going to remove that. There's vehicles in the way of those. That's a lot of oil. Not that these really need it. I'm just going to sell these boats to move them out of the way. I might as well sell this one as well, just so that we can reclaim a bit of this land and really not be held back by what is currently in place, because I think what we've had here has worked really well up till this point, but with putting in the train line through the area, it's a lot to try and keep this the way it's been, and I think that we can really benefit from having this extra space. So there we go. So what I'm gonna do is smooth up a lot of this area so that it's less not quite as dramatic of a drop into this area. Just really going around, and this will raise up this land quite a lot. You can see how the terrain is changing. I think the reason that is still grass, still even. Let's just make it nice and flush. The reason that's still sand is because we painted it on ourselves, I get the feeling. So let's just smooth this out a little bit. I have a feeling that I did this prior without knowing about the smooth tool. Smooth tool is God. It is amazing. So light grass, green. Oh, hang on. Maybe I can just... There we go. Remove what's there, and hopefully it will change to wherever it needs to be. So we've got a nice little area. Again, I don't know what we're going to do here. We may be able to get away with having a train station here. So we may remove these roads back. Oh, I don't know whether we would be able to fit it in. Oh yeah, we would definitely be able to fit it in. Can trains go underneath? No. Trains can't really go underneath. What if we lower them in the middle? So trains can't go underneath this fuel factory, which is quite important to know. To be honest with you, if we manage to somehow bring it along this way, then this would be a really crucial connection for these fuel and plastic factories. But we need to work with what we've got. Maybe we could do something like, if we put it in the middle here, maybe even sort of turned, not quite like that, something like that, and had the trains go off that side. That could work. But yeah, we're gonna have a little play there. Right now, I want to try and flatten out this area. So it's really annoying. I have a funny feeling that I may not have it in selected. Actually, is the oh god, the mod for more brush sizes, because this is tiny. So we're gonna go more like this. I feel if we have more of a connection out this way, So I'm just trying to create a little bit more space, but not completely bastardize the coastline that we've got. So hopefully, by trying to follow this line, we can create quite a nice pleasing curve. And it just provides us with that little bit extra space that we may need when we're putting, you know, huge cargo train lines through here and what have you. Oh, look at that beach. That's working a charm. I'm looking forward to seeing what Delhi does down here. So, yes, we will probably be doing a lot of working around the environment that's in front of us, but I reckon it will pay off quite handsomely. So if we go from there, can that connect up over here? Yes, it can. And actually, if we take that road out, it provides us with a gully that will be quite nice to put bridges over, sort of almost natural looking bridges, because it's where the land naturally rolls through. So we'll just connect these up. It's going to pretty much mirror the lines going up here. So each of these 4 trunks are going to be pretty similar. Oh, moment of truth. Will it actually fit with that? That's so annoying. It almost feels like if it was down a little bit, or maybe a lot, it will just about go in. Maybe what we need to do is, I have an idea, and I don't know how it will turn out. I really do hate this sort of delay. Like, give us more options when we're bulldozing things to quickly remove stuff. It would be so much easier to sit through this. Right, there we go. So my idea, are you ready for this, is we connect these 2 up. Just hold your horses. I hear you. Oh, but Rob, they're not the right ones to connect up. I get it. So what we're going to do is we're taking these to have sort of a median area in the middle. And what my hopes is that we can put maybe, how many would it be? 3 on either side. In fact, let's just test that, because I think that's getting very close to not being possible. Moment of truth. It's just not quite doable. That's annoying. Okay, well, we have 4 lanes there that are pretty damn on it, in my opinion, for where we want things to meet up here. So we'll do another 4 lanes on this side. And then what my hope is if we connect these up, they will... Ooh, I didn't expect that to take out the middle bit. You know what, let's take these bits. So we're going to need to link these up. Let's take this bit out. But that's fine, because hopefully, if we can... We want to use these to be very similar, so identical pretty much. So how many is that now? 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. There we go, and that's really pushing up against that side. So we'll connect these in. Let's just check that that one connects in. It does. Good. Okay. Yep. This is working the way we want it to. So then that creates sort of a medium area in the middle that's hopefully relatively even for both sides of the tracks to meet. It's not too far one way or too far the other way, because it's effectively sort of looking for that middle. There we go. So we've got something there now to work with. Excuse me. So we just need to try and figure out what else we're going to do here. I think having a nice coastal road would be beneficial. We're going into what looks like maybe a tunnel here. So that will allow us to build effectively a decent road through this area to this side of Delhi, which will be beneficial for, extremely beneficial for Delhi. So without further ado, I might have to flatten this out a little bit more just for now. Let's try and get this road in. I'm very tempted to just go with a extra large road, but I won't. I'll go with large. So how close can we get it? How close? That is right about where the limit is for that. So if we put a large 4 harbour on this side, it kind of looks a little bit... I tell you what, let's put the harbour in first. Kind of looks a little bit sad where it's just hanging off the end there. So I'm gonna build up the surroundings. It's sort of like a natural area where the harbour sort of lends itself to it. And we've got these two beautiful beaches on the sides, which one has a road going through it. That is a bit much. Maybe I need to get this road in first. So it's just going to be a straight road through. There we go. And then that provides connections for this side of Delhi. So if we take this road, maybe bring it down so that it's sort of down on this side. And where could we bring up this road through? Where is the main road? Here's the main road. So we can upgrade this main road. So we've got this on keep, which is what we want. So then out this side, it will connect up with that road. I feel like having a connection off from this far back means that it should pull through really good connections for this lower area near on the bit that juts out for Delhi. And then if we smooth up, I want to smooth up that bit specifically, not the area around it. Whoops, I just knocked over my stool. I do apologize if you heard that. So then we can take this road off and bring it this direction, and that will connect in here. And then we upgrade this road through so that we can have a decent road coming over towards Shangsha. So this is just the beginnings, sort of plotting out where things are going to go. And what I really want to try and do is connect up this side. So what I may do is just delete this road back. So in my head, we've got two options here. Whether we go this way round, or whether we go sort of like this way round. And part of me is saying that this way around would be better because we'd have opportunities to connect up both sides. But the problem with that is that if we go underneath this, it just won't work. It just will not work. Whereas if we go this way, it's a little bit more funky, but it means that we can more likely connect up things together. So let's just try that. Let's see what happens if we take number one, this side. So it's going to turn into a bridge there, which we don't want. What can we do? We can maybe flatten this area out a little bit more, just so we know what we're working with here. And then once this goes into a tunnel, will this side go round though? Is that turning into a tunnel? No, it's not. That's amazing. So this needs to go into a tunnel like this, and then it can come all the way through, I would reckon, to here. This might be a bit of an issue. We can work with that though. So let's just double check quickly. Will that mine be an issue? It will. Okay. So we need to go around the mine. Isn't that much of a problem, really? We can probably come around quite easily. So I'm not too worried about that. The only problem is we've got a lot going on here, so it's going to be really tricky to get it almost spot on. I just want it to be a tunnel. There we go. So this is going to ignore the other roads, the other tunnels, the other train lines that are in the area. It's just going to go in like that. And then that connects here. Is this oil well going to be any issue at all? It doesn't look like it. No. So if we delete this out before the apex of this turn, then we should be able to, I'm hoping, connect that into there, and it will create a natural curve which will be the highest possible speed. So it goes down to about 102, 103, but I mean that's still really pretty fast. So I'm not that upset about it being 103 miles an hour. It's like, oh yeah, you're gonna win the lottery, but you're only gonna win like I don't know, a lot of money that will make a difference to your life. But it's not, you know, 100 million pounds or whatever. I don't know why I said million 3 times, but you get what I mean. Like, you're still winning the lottery. It's going to be a life-changing amount. So I'm still happy with it being 100 mile an hour rather than 70. If it went down to 70, then it's almost like regular track at that point. It's like, why would I bother? 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. I mean, 70 is still pretty fast, but in the grand scheme of things. I don't know how I feel about that curve being so much less dramatic than the last one. I'm almost a little bit worried that it won't connect in, but it is. So I'm not going to worry. What this also allows us to do is possibly have a harbour on this side that will replace the old oil line harbour here, which will be good because it means that we can, number one, maybe even connect up the oil hubs directly, the oil, the chemical factory, and also the fuel. But mainly, it's all about connecting up this this train station. So I'm just gonna pop on these stairs so that we've got full connectivity on this side. Hopefully we'll be able to do maybe like a road coming around here that just playfully sort of comes over the top. So something like bridge pillars are an issue. Now they're not. Something like this. That I love because it connects this area with this area without going through the train lines. Right, so I'm going to have to slowly take each one of these up to the point here, so that they match what we've got going on there. And then from there we can pretty much connect it up to the existing track on the other side. It's a lot of tunnel, I'll admit, but at this stage we've got so much going on in such a small area, it's pretty impossible to you know, feasibly work with. I mean, you could probably do it, but I'm looking at what's probably best for the cities around this area. You know, I'm not too fussed about the aesthetics of it, to be honest, to a certain degree. Like, I don't want it to look absolutely, you know, dog shit, but at the same time, I'm more about getting these things connected up. That's the challenge for me, especially in such a small area. Like, it's one thing to connect things like this up in a full map that you have plenty of space on. In a small island, like, well, it's not a small island, but in a moderately sized island, you know, that already has a lot going on with large cities, and you know, we've already got routes going backwards and forwards. To be honest, in real life, I could see the payoff for putting in a tunnel like this, because it doesn't affect Nagoya, and it means that you have cargo connections around this entire island. So I think there's probably an argument to say that it would happen in real life because it would be economically viable. That being said, it's also quite a long tunnel and it's a little bit crazy. So there's that as well. Ah, beautiful. These will connect up without issue. I'm so glad that that fuel factory does not, or fuel refinery, I should say, doesn't cause an issue there. And it means that we can also do something quite interesting with the roads around this area. So I'm gonna connect these up one by one. And that just creates a beautiful little land bridge for us to, number one, bring this connection up, and number two, have those connections not affected by the road that's going to be there. So I kind of quite like that we've created almost a divergent point where the main route through goes up this direction, whereas we can have a second road come down this way. And it actually speaks into that point that we were making earlier about potentially we can connect this way up down here. So let's just use the smoothing tool to really make this a little bit prettier on the eyes, because the game tends to go for those sharp lines, you know, what's absolutely possible in some ways a little bit infeasible. Like, you'd probably end up with problems up the wazoo if you had extremely straight lines like this, rather than having it slowly sloping down. But then again, I'm not a structural engineer. I don't know this stuff necessarily as well as some may, so I may be completely wrong. Don't take my word for as gospel. I'm just saying I think it would be better to have a less steep slope, because you're less likely to have sort of problems with subsidence and rock falls, that sort of thing. Or at least that's how I feel about it. I may be wrong. I may be wrong. Okay. let's move past that point. Right, so I'd like to put something here. I feel like this needs to be... Oh, what a nice sort of beachside train line, almost. So if we were to put in this connection for dock is outside of navigable waters. So this is causing an issue. So if we smooth this, in fact, if we just unfortunately, sometimes we need to alter things slightly. So I'm going to try and be as careful with this as possible, because I don't want to remove the island completely. I like that it's there. It's a bit of a obstacle for the boats to have to go around. But we also really want to have a harbour here. So what I may do is try and dig this down a little bit here, so it creates more of a straight edge there for us to put the... Yes, exactly that. Gonna put it on this side a little bit more. So hopefully, what would happen if we took this to this side? It needs to go... It just won't go in. Okay. Okay. This is fine. So if we put in a road like this and then connect... What I want to do is have a connection here that's easy on the eyes. Just raise that in the middle a little bit. Oh, beautiful. That's definitely going to be connected to that now, which I'm over the moon for. I didn't think it would be quite possible. I thought we would need a connection on this side, but we've done it. So I'm very happy with that. I'm very happy that we've actually been able to get the train line through as well. What this provides us with is a possibility to have that main oil line come down here and drop off for both the main hub and also for the harbour. So I'm quite pleased with that, to be honest with you. I'm just gonna try and bring this round. We don't need it to go way up. I don't know why it's trying to. we're going to try and slot it in there. It won't quite go in. What if we go, oh no, way down. Something like this. There we go. In fact, we could probably do way better than that. Like, let's face it. If we just had a straight road from there to there, it might even look the best. And then we've got that connected there, straight, like a direct connection, which is pretty amazing, to be honest with you. These connections, I'm quite surprised at. I didn't think it would be possible. So I'm very happy with what we've got going on. And this is all with just basic road as well. It's not like it's anything super amazing, it's just basic highway. So if we connect that up to there. Oh, beautiful, that connects up to the harbour. The fuel refinery connects to the harbour. Oh my god, oh my goodness. That's better than the original connection, like tenfold. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. So I think what we would have is like a main road down to the train line. That is actually quite a steep slope, isn't it? Why does it keep wanting to go down? Oh, wow. So yeah, a main connection for the train line, and then the harbour has a bit of an older route through. Maybe the harbour was here originally, and we had a nice connection through for it. That's what I'm envisioning here. So just trying to think what to do here, because if we have a connection with too many points that it intersects, we've got to bring this up. And what we don't want to do is over burden what's already here. So this is pretty much the main route through, and it will be once we sort this lot out. But what we've been able to do here alone has really made me believe that we can pull this off. Even with the stuff over here, we can totally pull this off. It's just a case of finding what is right for the situation. So if we were to have a station over here, number one, we've got to give it enough space to go into a tunnel to come back, because we can't go through Changsha or something like that. It's one of the biggest cities. In fact, I think which one's that one? Yeah, it is the largest city we have. It would absolutely catastrophically affect it if we had just trains rolling through the middle of it. So we need to bear that in mind. What we could do is push this connection out this way so that it goes around the trains. I'm going to take this back to about here, where it can then turn into quite a nice curve there. I'm hoping this will still have a connection to here if we put a road in here. There we go. Boom. That's what we want to see. So we've connected up the main hub for this area. We've also got the factory here connected up, and we've also connected up these farms, which means that we'll be able to directly bring round grain down here if we connect in this area. So let's just see what we can do there. I'm thinking like that's pretty much perfect, even though it's right in the middle of the farm. You know, it's a farm. It's not a massive tourist hotspot or something silly. Farmland is always getting redeveloped. Unfortunately, I don't necessarily like that, but it is the way of the world. So if we remove these connections, so I think we can connect these up here. What we may even do is something similar to what we did earlier. Connect this to that one, and we have like a middle area. Or maybe we just connect these up. Oh, those pillars, I bet, are going to be a bit of an issue. So we may have to redraw that bridge. I knew it. That's alright. I mean, that bridge, it almost doesn't look flat. But we were thinking that we may have to rework what we've got here. So this I don't mind having to remove out. Don't get me wrong, it kind of sucks that we have to, but it'd be nice if we can work it in maybe with one of these roads or something. To provide decent connections locally to these areas. Alexa, stop. So Alexa, stop. Bloody Alexa. Always has to have a say in things, doesn't it? Right, so we have this road coming up this way. We could probably can we go into a bridge from here? So if we go over the top of this lot, this would be the deciding one. Oh, that's gonna easily go into a bridge over the top. So I'm not even that worried. We just have to decide where we want this connection to come across. So why is it so... Why is it not just flat, more flat? Almost looks like there's a bit of a curve in the middle. How weird. Right, so this is the business end of this connection. So we've got 2, 4, 6. How many more can we fit in here? 7. I think that we're getting a bit close. 8. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, 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 wow. Okay. So this will connect in here. Creates a nice bridge down. So the only issue I see this having is if this is residential area. Ah, it's not even residential area. That's beautiful. So I would say we bring it down on this side. And this way we can have it come through here. Don't know what we're going to do about this road, but we can work it out. We can work through the pain. Right. So if we did something like this, which so maybe if we turn it this way a little bit more, it'll create a bit better of a curve. Let's just test that out. How does that look? It's the only problem with having lots of things connect nearby. So 60 miles an hour down to 55, which is a bit painful. Maybe we can do better. I mean, realistically, it's got to come down here, so why don't we see what we can do here? What's the maximum curve? Okay, what do we have to work with? Something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So will that connect there? Yes, it will. It's a very slow corner, but it's a connection. That's the main thing. It's got a connection, the rest will all come in. Because effectively it's got more space to play with for that connection. So we got a connection there. We're going to have to try and come over here, I would reckon, to connect it that way. But that's plenty of space for a line to come in. Moment of truth is whether this will go into a tunnel. I reckon we can get it into a tunnel, but how far it would have to go, that's about right, I would say. So if we delete this back, so we've got to do the same here as we've done before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So these are connecting in. Have we done one too many? I think we have. That's quite funny. We've overbuilt. Right, so if we just delete this back, this would be where they start to curve back once it gets into a tunnel. So what we're probably going to want is for these to come over here. There we go. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? Woo! So these will literally just marry up all the way down. I'm dead chuffed that we've been able to get this in exactly as I thought we could. You know, sometimes even though you want things to work a certain way, there just isn't a way to get it to work that particular way. And you have to alter your plans. But to date, or so far, bridge pillar collision. I'm betting it's here, isn't it? Okay. What we'll do is we'll delete this back, and hopefully we can just work with that road in there. Because that's the main trunk route through, which it looks like it may be the case. Literally just as I was talking about having to alter plans and things. Yep. Okay. We're gonna have to remove probably this section of road. and alter what happens here, which isn't too much of an issue really. It's kind of an over creation anyway. Like the size of that road is not really needed there. So it's absolutely fine. So if we try to put that back in. First off, what happens if we just connect these up? It works. Why couldn't it work before? Who knows? Who knows? Never mind. In fact, I reckon this will connect in if we connect it to the right road. Just under the bridge. There we go. Nice. It's probably slightly different to how we had it, but it works pretty much fine. We can upgrade that so that it's tarmac, and that is still connected down here. Even though it has to have some level crossings, I'm absolutely fine with that because it's only going to 2 farms. It's not that big of a deal. Right, so I think my next thing that I need to prepare is probably down here. Which is going to be painful because we're going to have to alter pretty much what we've already got. So without further ado, let's get on with that, shall we? So I'm thinking we can probably go off into a tunnel here. So without all this cargo traffic, because remember, the trains are going to remove a lot of this need. Hopefully we can... Ah, there's a vehicle in the way. Oh, it's painful to watch. It's a lot of construction. Not one stop will be removed. Why can we not? Construction not possible. Oh, whoops! I did not mean to do that. This road has something funky going on about it because we can't delete that bit. Now we can. We couldn't delete this bit. Now we can. I'm quite tempted to just sell this boat for now. And these other ones that are in the way. Even though these have probably travelled across the entire bloody map. So that we can remove this and then work with what we've got. So I would say don't be afraid to just rip stuff out, because ultimately with this game, I mean, there is something to say about keeping things the way they've been for a while so that they look almost historical, but that's more about how the city looks for me. These parts of like big infrastructure, which admittedly, like big infrastructure projects like this would happen in places that have big economic booms, so it's not too unusual to have things reworked, because ultimately, things change. times change, things happen. You know, stuff isn't necessarily designed with years and years in mind. Like, it's definitely designed nowadays for the next 10, 50 years at push, but that's a long amount of time. So, you know, even in real life, things like this would probably happen, especially considering the amount of change that's happened in that amount of time. I don't really want to bring this in here, because ultimately this is where our roadway down to Delhi's gonna go. So maybe I can push this down, or maybe I can push this up so that the tunnel goes underneath. Yeah, I much prefer that. Don't know what we're going to do with this road. That's still to be seen. So this at least will connect up the main routes through for the public transport. Right, we're almost there. We're almost... It's quite scary. Like, we're almost there. I hope I've done, you know, the smart things with a lot of these. I may well have done some stuff wrong, and I would introduce those who believe that I have to the comments section. Please let me know. You know, drop a little message, drop a little comment, or whatever you want to do. Just keep it constructive. You know, ultimately, I'm doing what I think is right here. Having some beautiful cliffs here would be quite nice. So that's what I'm going to do there. It also means that we can tunnel into them quite nicely, quite easily. Maybe we even bring this out here, so it becomes almost where a natural point for this connection goes in. Over hundreds of thousands of years, these cliffs have been formed. Let's take out these beaches because they look horrific. Right, so let's give ourselves something to aim for. Don't go up, just stay. The only problem is, because it's not quite a flat surface to work with, it's going to be a little bit tricky when it comes to putting the tunnel in. So I may just push it back like once it's programmed in. There we go. So what we want is like a nice flat wall that our trains can just smash into. So keeping it flat. We're going to have these connect up down here, I think. So that's 5, 6, 7, these up. I'd much prefer if we could just make one tunnel, but that would have to be a little bit further back. Which, you know, to be fair, we could do. Maybe. How does this look? That's the key question. So how does it look with these tunnels coming out? Looks a little bit questionable. I feel like we're going to have to flatten this edge a little bit. Have maybe a road come down this way. What's annoying is we can't connect this up to here and then have it turn into like a 8-lane super bit and then you know, dissect it out again. That's just not really feasible, unfortunately. Tell you what though, we could go into a tunnel here, come out on this side and go into a bridge over this way. Then there'll be a nice curved road through. Obviously this will still be the main route through, so that's a 3-lane road going up to about there. So we'll come through this way. Let's just delete these roads that might get in the way, out of the way. And then that will connect in there. I don't think we'll need this anymore. I don't know. We might actually, because we might not be able to do a road through from here that connects up to that. Oh, but it's in. Mostly. So we're going to over here. So if we went under. Oh no, it's not going into a tunnel. There we go. That's sort of like what we wanted. We want it to go in this direction. Yeah, flat in that direction. So I'm just putting in this curve back on itself. So then it wants to connect up over here. So I wonder what would happen if we just try that. So connecting into here. Construction is not possible. Does it tell us which direction it's trying to go? Oh, hang on. Right, so this is an issue. Okay. I mean, if we went, like, it's so close. Look at how close that is. If we went around this from here, then we may well be able to just connect them up without any problems. So we don't want this going up. Unless that is that flat? Wow. Okay. Maybe it's just not high enough there. So maybe we will need to keep it up this height. Oh, that turns into not a tunnel. Which actually kind of sucks because that's right where the residential area is, and we want to keep it in a tunnel to avoid that. I think we're just going to have to go down from there. I'm hoping that this will spur on quite a lot of growth, to be honest, because if we can get the goods to those harbours, then we can get them up to each city quite easily. We don't have to worry about limitations of roads and things. We can use trains. So this is where it would then circle back round up to here, and there's a collision. Oh no, that's going to be an issue. Oh really? Does the steel mill cause issues? I didn't realise that would be the case. Right, well, that's sort of the very limit that we can take it here. So if we just delete this back, this isn't the time autosave. Come on. It's just that autosave did its thing. Right. So annoyingly, we're going to have to do the same on this side. Which is take this as far as it will let us, as flat as possible. And then find where is good here. There's good. So now we'll delete this back. And the annoying thing is that's the opposite side of things, but if we build this out, so we need to go to 8. It's got to be at the very edge of this. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8. Moment of truth. Will that? Oh no, I don't want it to connect to the road. Connect there. Oh no, it's not quite close. Stay flat, please. That may just about do it though. Okay. And if we keep this hugging up to this, it should go straight through. I'm just wondering whether that last one will connect. Oh, this is so tricky under a road. I have no idea how that goes underneath, but it does somehow. Oh, come on, game. Right. We're almost there. We've almost completed the loop. In fact, we have completed it for some of the track. Not quite all of it. Oh, that's annoying. That must be so close to not going through. What can we do about that? Maybe... Oh no, we're gonna have to remove... It's probably easier to remove it from this side. But we are gonna have to reconnect up these. So that one will have to become the very furthest on the left. Unless, of course, we could do it if this goes out a little bit more. So, like, I just want to keep it straight and flat, like that. And then, that might have done it. So can these still connect up to what was there? Yes, they can. That might have done the trick. It goes way down to 36 miles an hour, but once the trains are rolling through, they'll create their own, space between each one. It won't really matter. Right, so that's it up to here. we just have to connect in these and it'll all be done. I can't believe it's gone in. And in what, like just over an hour and a half. I can't believe I've got it done. I genuinely thought that this would take a lot longer. That being said, we've got to do all the rest of things, like getting the lines all sorted and getting those connections in, but this is the main bedrock that everything else is based upon. So let's just bask in its glory for a few minutes, shall we? That's it done. Wow. Okay. Very good. Very good. So we've got quite a nice connection, especially down here. I wasn't really expecting this to go in quite as easily as it has. This route through here in the tunnels was very tricky, but we got there. We went round some of the main things that were getting in the way, and we got there. We may even be able to connect in this to one of these. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, I hope that you've enjoyed watching us put this in. I've enjoyed getting it in, putting it in, and getting it all working. Well, we haven't gotten it working yet, but that will have to wait till next episode, because this has been. I'm just shocked that this has gone in. We've got this in. All we have to do is sort of move these across. We'll have to rework over here, but that's okay because we had like 5 lines there already. It wasn't like it was, you know, hundreds like the other side has. So yeah, I'm really happy with how this has worked out, and I know without a shadow of a doubt this is going to make a big difference going forward for the cargo, because it's going to mean that we can use a lot less road trucks, and a lot more cargo can get to sort of its final destination a lot quicker, because we're doing that 90% of the way by train, and then the rest will be just with you know, the trucks and what have you. So yeah, thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this episode, then please consider leaving a like, leaving a follow, leaving a comment. Let me know what you think of putting all this in. Would you have put in a train station just for this one machines? One machines factory over here? You know, like, let me know what you think of it all. It's all still coming along, and there's still a lot of life left in this map. I'm really enjoying it. I hope that you are too. So until next time, have a good one. Bye.